Welcome everyone, this is Tactical Lich here, and today we are having a meme battle replay. You can see that we are bringing some aspiring champions, a not so cost effective unit on the Chaos roster, but not only are we bringing one of them, we are actually bringing a full front line of them. In fact, our sole front line composes of aspiring champions only and no marauders, no Chaos warriors. We have some Chaos warriors with halberds at the back protecting some Hell cannons, and that's all for our infantry. Now, aspiring champions, they are not the most competitive unit, but they can actually synergize well with the Burning Head from Archaon, as their low model count and heavy armor allows them to take minimal damage from the area of effect when spell. As for mobility, we have some Marauder Horsemasters on each flank to protect the flanks and also skirmish down any single entities that dares to approach the Chaos Hell cannons. Now, for the leadership, we have Archaon the Ever-Chosen bringing in Burning Head, Cascading Fire Cloak, and Fireball. However, to my mistake, I did not bring the Slayer of Kings. This causes Archaon to lose a huge amount of his killing power, making him a much less terrifying duelist. But nonetheless, we'll be fighting with a full aspiring champion frontline, fully vanguard to delay the enemy's advance, while the Hell Cannons will be blasting away my opponent, focusing down any key targets. Now my opponent, a very great player, Human Boy Yes Yes, bringing a Vampire Count army with a full line of zombies in front. At the back we have some sturdier skeleton warriors, a very numerous front line to protect the Mortis engine, who will be responsible for draining away the health of the supposedly numerous Chaos Marauder Horde and heavy metal Chaos Warriors. But unfortunately, they do not have the opportunity here, as we only have some aspiring champions in front. Still, it will still be a great threat with the terror and the health drain, especially in the late game against the Chaos Warriors with halberds in the back. Now, as for the leadership, we have some Necromancer, actually one Necromancer on a Corpse Card, Unholy Lodestone for that healing, and in the skies we have a Strigoi Vampire Lord coming in with some spells. I think it is Invocation of Nahak, the Gold King of Ushuran to provide that healing, the Claws of Morrigan providing extra weapon damage, and also Spirit Leech to drain away the Chaos health, especially when Chaos do not have healing to counteract that direct damage. As for mobility, we have some Fellbats for pressuring the skirmish cavalry. We have some Blood Knights over here, supported by the Dire Pack. Over here, a couple Black Knights and a couple Dire Wolves. And that's it for the army builds. Let's get the battle started, as the Chaos aspiring champions are thirsting for combat. This battle was actually played in a best of 7 between me and Human Boy Yes Yes. I recently decided to bring this build out of storage and started trying it against some more competitive matches. I brought it against Aetherian, against Phoenix King, but I lost both games. They were close, but it was still a loss nonetheless. So hopefully the third time's the charm. With the Hell Cannon advantage, I'm opening up with some Screaming Fireballs crashing into the Black Knights, dealing some significant damage, alongside with some support from the Marauder Horsemasters. And with the Chaos Warriors hidden in the bushes, this one Hell Cannon here looks rather exposed, and Human Boy Yes Yes is pushing forward with some Black Knights and Dire Wolves, hoping to threaten this Hell Cannon. But now the ambush is sprung as the Chaos Warriors is pushing forward and now moving into combat, trying to block up these Dire Wolves and save the Marauder Horsemasters. And the Hell Cannon crew, being unbreakable, will not be phased by this attack from some puny Fellbats and will be successfully pushing off all these mobility. While over here, Dire Pack and the Blood Knights are pushing back all these Marauder Horsemasters, trying to cut off my skirmishing fire support, but they won't be fast enough to catch these slippery Horsemasters. Now in the front line, the action has begun as the zombies and skeleton warriors clashes into the shield walls of the mighty aspiring champions, but a Burning Head Overcast is ripping through the ranks of these undead bodies, giving all these zombies and skeletons a proper cremation, while the aspiring champions, almost untouched by the flames thanks to their heavy armor and low entity count. With a single Burning Head, a significant portion of the undead front line is cleared by Archaon the Ever-Chosen. Now there are some Black Knights charging into combat, trying to punch through my aspiring champions, but with the focus fire from the two Hell Cannons, these blobbed up Vampire Count units are falling left, right and center to puffs of soul fire from the Chaos War machines. And even the Mortis engine, having a rather large hitbox, is suffering massively from the high armor piercing missile damage from the Hell Cannons, especially with the boom effect, giving it extra base explosive damage. And so The whole front line of the Vampire Counts are crumbling to dust as the aspiring champions are barely scratched. With their high 62 melee defense, combined with the 120 armor, the wet noodle attacks of the undead are not touching these aspiring champions. Now, the Strigoi Vampire Lord is still a massive threat, as it was able to do some significant damage to Archaon the Everchosen with a combination of anti-large armor piercing attacks and a Terragai's stinky breath, blasting away Archaon's hit points. Also, the Spirit Leech directly damaging Archaon's health, permanently draining Archaon's health pool. Over here, some Blood Knights finally returning after going on a wild goose chase, and now hoping to charge into the rear of the aspiring champions to finish them off. The front line looks pretty solid for the Chaos. Some aspiring champions fully intact, all 12 models are surviving. They are now cleaning up some remaining zombies, while over here the aspiring champions are still barely holding, and now with the terror effect from Mortis Engine, they are routed. But that's not a big deal here, as the Marauder Horsemasters are here to support, throwing their javelins, destroying all these mobility, although some of them are caught by the Blood Knights and Black Knights, so forcing the Chaos Warriors with halberds to push forward to support this melee grind. However, it is not exactly a big deal. Some Marauder Horsemasters are routed, but with the lack of Warhounds here, they won't really be chased off, while the Chaos Howl Cannons are just continuously ripping apart all these cavalry, occasionally switching their targets into the single entities like the Strigoi Vampire Lord or the Mortis Engine, sniping out the Vampire Powerhouse units with those guided missiles. And over here, Archaon is pinned down, but with Stand or Die and Cascading Fire Cloak, up to 108 melee defense, he is tanking, unwilling to go down, while the Chaos Warriors with halberds are pushing in, trying to drag down all these mighty knights of the undead. Seeing that they can't really fight and kill off Archaon that soon, Human Boy Yes decided to pull back the Strigoi Vampire Lord to do some healing, but more importantly, bring back the Strigoi Vampire Lord into disguise, allowing him to go for that death breath once again. And now the Everchosen is slain, as he could not pull out from the fight to dodge that breath, due to the Blood Knights pinning him down in combat. In retaliation, the Howl Cannons are also finishing off the Mortis Engine as well, exploding in a puff of spiritual energy. There's no more death draining effect, giving my warriors with halberds a much more favorable combat condition. And with all the vampire mobility eliminated, no more hounds, no more Blood Knights and Black Knights, the Horsemasters are unopposed. Free to roam the battlefield, they're surrounding this vampire blob like killer whales and circling their prey. With the Strigoi Vampire Lord being the only remaining win condition unit for the Vampire Counts, it is receiving all the firepower from the Warriors of Chaos. The javelins, the Hellfire Balls, a Strigoi Vampire Lord might be strong, but still, he is forced to retreat. Now, Chaos Warriors with halberds are moving into combat, tying down all these zombies, while Human Boy Yes using his micro here to dodge away my missile attacks, dropping down here and there just to evade most of my javelin attacks, although once it landed, it cannot dodge. The skirmishers are seizing this opportunity, throwing out as many javelins as they can, picking away what's left of his health, and he is quickly approaching his healing cap. The Vampire Lord also pop up the Power Stone, increasing the magic regeneration temporarily so that he can get some magic for healing or Spirit Leech to thin out my remaining units. The Counts need everything they can to try and pull back this fight, as they are running out of units with only the Necromancer on a corpse cart remaining, not exactly the best melee combatant. While the Chaos Warriors still have a bunch of halberds, although the Howl Cannons have finally ran out of ammo. No longer needing to protect the artillery, the warriors are now marching into combat. Howl Cannons are not the only one using up all their ammunition. Marauder Horsemasters running out of ammo, they will be charging into combat, while the ones who still have some javelins left, they will be staying back and shoot into the fray, hopefully trying to finish off the Strigoi Lord or the Necromancer, and just basically chugging javelins point blank. Their massive weapon strength, 37 and 6, actually 8 of them is armor piercing, will be doing quite a bit of damage against the heavily armored Strigoi Vampire Lord, even with the missile resistance. And now the Strigoi Vampire Lord is just continuously dropping that Spirit Leech, hoping to thin out my remaining infantry support, but that might not be enough, as I have more and more infantry incoming, with aspiring champions approaching to provide that leadership buff, and Chaos Warriors with halberds standing by. They are actually all fresh, they have not seen any action at all, in perfect condition. While the Strigoi Vampire Lord is debuffed by the Exhaustion, having lower melee stats, he will be in a disadvantage, especially up against the anti-large of the Halberds. They will be moving into combat as the first batch of Chaos Warriors are almost out of steam, while the Aspiring Champions will also approaching that blob, using their Encourage effect to keep my units in the fight a little longer. While the Strigoi Vampire Lord with Opal Amulet popped will have a bit more damage resistance, but no matter, as the Javelins will still be chipping away his health, damage is damage. Chaos Warriors with Halberds will be a bit too tough for some summoned zombies or the Necromancer on a corpse card to fight through. And the Strigoi Vampire Lord right now down to 1,456 health will not be able to grind through all this infantry. As we fast forward here, my Marauder Horsemaster are charging into combat. Even the Hell Cannon crew are wielding their hand axes, going in for the kill, surrounding the Strigoi Vampire Lord, along with more and more Marauder Horsemaster charging into combat, using their charge bonus to dish out the damage against the mighty Vampire Lord. Seeing that his Strigoi Vampire Lord is about to meet the bitter end, Human Boy Yes Yes decided to throw in the towel, and the meme build will be claiming victory. Before we go into the army performances, just want to say a big thanks to Human Boy Yes Yes for playing in my best of 7 tournament and playing against me. That was a really fun battle. There are actually more battles I want to showcase in the best of 7 series, but that will be another video for another time. Also, Human Boy Yes Yes has his own YouTube channel with some really exciting, interesting tournaments. So do go check out his stuff if you want to see more multiplayer content for Total War Warhammer. Of course, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button down below if you want to see more multiplayer content, meme builds, battle replays, tips and strategies for Total War Warhammer multiplayer. Subscribe to the channel and get updates whenever I upload new videos. And if you have any replays that you want to showcase, feel free to join my Discord or send me an email with the replay file attached. I'll be sure to check them out. Now, battle performances, we have a line of Aspiring Champions. Their main duty was not to kill, but to hold back the fragile front line of the Undead. And with the Undead piling on top of these elite warriors, Archaon was able to dump a big fat burning skull on top of the zombies, the skeletons, incinerating all these corpses who refused to go down. Their Encourage effect also counteracted the fear and terror from the Vampire Lord, helping the Chaos troops hold a little longer in battle. And with the superior melee defense and high armor, they were able to survive even till the end of the combat. Although they took some significant damage, still, some impressive work holding back a tide of zombies, skeletons, and surviving from the rear charges of Blood Knights and also Black Knights, the Strigoi Vampire Lord on the Terrorgeist. As for the Chaos Warriors, engaging in battle as a fresh reserve in the late stages of the game, getting some pretty decent work done against the Blood Knights, the Strigoi Vampire Lord, and also their high armor allows them to tank out that damage from the zombies, while the Marauder Horsemasters, always the most cost-effective unit on the whole Chaos roster. They have some really good damage done not only to the cavalry, the Blood Knights, the Dire Pack, Dire Wolves, but also they were able to focus fire onto the Mortis Engine as well as the Strigoi Vampire Lord, doing some massive damage, well over their worth. And with these two Marauder Horsemasters surviving till the end, they were healthy enough to go into a charge attack, surrounding the Strigoi Vampire Lord and dragging him down in combat, especially when the Strigoi Vampire Lord is extremely tired. But the real damage dealers of this whole game are these two Hell Cannons. Protected by the Chaos Warriors with Halberds, they were able to safely fire from a distance, smashing apart all these Blood Knights, Black Knights, focusing down the single entities, the Mortis Engine, and the Strigoi Vampire Lord with their accurate, life-seeking missiles. The Screaming Soul Fireball, homing onto the winning condition units of the Vampire Counts, was able to snipe out all these single entities, despite Archaon not bringing the Slayer of Kings. While Archaon, 302 kills from all the zombie burning, skeleton burning, the cremation procedure, not exactly a lot of value, but clearing out that front line, clearing out the chaff, eliminating the supporting units for the Vampire Counts was very crucial in isolating the single entities and cavalry, in the end winning the game for the Warriors of Chaos. While Human Boy Yes Yes Vampire Army, we have the Strigoi Vampire Lord, a very solid anti-large armor piercing unit, able to take out Archaon the Everchosen, using that armor piercing to cycle charge, bring down the aspiring champions and some of the Chaos Warriors, but in the end, there's so much firepower coming in from the Marauder Horsemasters and the Hell Cannon, he was not able to survive the combat. Hitting the heal cap, unable to heal anymore, and dragged down by the hordes of Horsemasters. Now, Necromancer, not exactly an attacking unit, he was there for the healing effects from probably Master of the Dead, and also we have the healing effects from a Lodestone, as well as the healing from the Mortis Engine. While the Mortis Engine not exactly earning back its worth, getting 1,000 value still pretty decent up against the aspiring champions. As for the chaff frontline of the Vampire Counts, they basically got burned to a crisp by Archaon's Burning Head. While the mobility get focused down by all those Hell Cannon Soulfire blasting, while Blood Knights not exactly earning much value as well because of the lack of suitable engagements. We have the Marauder Horsemasters too fast for them to catch, while the infantry are not exactly what they want to fight with heavy armor on every single unit. As for the Felbats, unable to catch and pin down the Hell Cannons or the Marauder Horsemasters as they were dropping down a little bit too hastily and got hit by an ambush by the Chaos Warriors, while the Direwolves, same thing for them as well, and the Dire Pack kited to death by one of the Marauder Horsemaster unit. And that's basically it for today's battle. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, remember to hit the like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Tactical Lich, signing out.